In the early 19th century, I took my family from our home in Switzerland and set sail to settle as missionaries in Australia. During our journey, there was a dreadful storm. The crew abandoned the ship, leaving us to our fates. We barely made it, but with perseverance and a roughly put-together raft, my family and I landed on land. It looked deserted. Behind us were thick, tall, green foliage of what looks like a jungle. Fritz alerted us to some figure he saw in the jungle. Could it be more survivors from the ship? We decided to go take a look. But I was extremely nervous because it could also be natives. They might not welcome strangers to their land. Much to my relief, it wasn't the natives. It turned out to be a herd of black spider monkeys. I started teasing them. The monkeys got annoyed and threw coconuts at us. The coconuts made an excellent source of drinking water. The following day, I decided to go back to the ship and inspect the wreckage. There might still be survivors, and also the livestock animals. We rowed our little raft to the massive ship, now looking so devastating. We heard a sound coming from a room. How delighted we were to find Turk and Juno, the ship's two dogs. They were just as happy to see us. We put together an ingenious transport contraption to haul the bigger animals back in one piece. By using empty barrels, we were able to keep the pigs afloat. For the ship, we pulled them to shore using ropes. Turk sensed danger and started to growl. Through the surface of the water, I saw a dark fin rising up. Before I could react, it hit the raft. Ernest was thrown overboard. Fritz took up the gun to shoot, but I was afraid Ernest might get hit. But lo and behold, to our surprise, we saw Ernest safe and sound on the back of a giant turtle. It was a miracle. The turtle took Ernest to shore and to safety. As we were busy rejoicing at the miracle, one of the ship that was tied up to the three suddenly went missing. The rope had snapped. There were no traces of footprints on the ground. What could have taken the ship? The mystery of the vanished ship puzzled me and disturbed me deeply. I could not rest. I no longer felt safe. I decided that we need to search for a new home. I didn't want to go deep into the jungle for fear of wild animals. During our search, Jack got separated from us. He wandered into a dark spot. Animals were closing in on him. Turk and Juno jumped to his rescue and chased them away. I'm so glad I had Turk and Juno with me. Further into the jungle, we came across a magnificent sight, a tall, giant fig tree, standing upright and towering to the sky. This could be what we were looking for. Its height meant we were safe from wild animals. We immediately set to work on the tree building, our new home with wood and timber from the ship. We also built a pen for the livestock. It took many months, but finally the tree house was ready. We christened the house Falconhurst. My wife was really happy, although she had one concern. We had to climb up to our high house through a rope ladder. She feared it might not be safe for the children. Now that we have a proper home, we could do a little more exploring. I am constantly amazed at the discovery of different wildlife on the island, but not all animals are cute and friendly. Such encounter with dangerous wildlife came not soon after. A Cape buffalo chased Fritz and Ernest with angry speed. The boys yelled for everyone to clear. We all had to get up the Falconhurst quickly. In our anxious state, my wife nearly had a fall when her hand slipped from the rope ladder. I caught her just in time. She was right after all. Perhaps we needed a safer way to get up and down the Falconhurst. The next day, we surveyed the base of a tree trunk and discovered that it was hollow. This was good news for me. We got our axes and started working. After weeks of sweat and toil, we crafted a stairwell to get to the falconhurst. My wife was so happy and so proud. Tears of joy ran down her cheeks. I kept a journal of all our activities on the island. To think it has been almost a year since we were stranded here. As the day looms by, the skies got darker. It seems that the rainy season will be set upon us soon. The rain made things miserable. We had to be locked in most of the time.
I suffered nightmares.
My wife and I woke up one night and we heard a terrible sound. I looked out the window and saw a big tiger with huge fangs and claws. It let out another big roar. Luckily, the new pen was fortified and it could not get to the livestock. The next day, I took my 2 elder boys to go hunt for the tiger. To our surprise, we found him lying dead. The mystery deepened. There were no traces of other animals. When we got back to the falconhurst, my wife told me that one of the donkeys was dead and a pig had gone missing. It was like that missing sheep all over again. After many weeks, the rain stopped. My children were thrilled to be able to go outside again. Ernest had discovered a cave. We all went and took a look. It was a rock salt cave. It would be an ideal place to stay besides the falconhurst during the rainy season. We all continued our daily chores. Fritz, however, went on a secret exploration. He wanted to see the rest of the island. An albatross landed on his boat. Fritz gave it some fresh water. He noticed something tied to the bird's leg. The message was a call for help from a woman stranded on Smoking Rock. Fritz reached an island that had a volcano. Smoke was coming out of the volcano. He heard a woman scream. 2 tigers were approaching a woman with long dark hair. Fritz took up his bow and arrow and chased the tigers away. That woman's name was Jenny Montrose. She was shipwrecked on the island for almost 3 years. Fritz took her back to the falconhurst, but no one was there. Turk took Fritz and Jenny to the rock salt cave. When they went inside the cave, Fritz and Jenny encountered a horrible being.
A 40-foot-long boa constrictor leapt out of the water, ready to attack.
I shouted for Fritz to stay back. We poured oil into the river of the giant snake and set it on fire.
As it writhed in the flames,
I let out a sigh of relief. The mystery of the vanishing animals had been solved. A few days later, we spotted a ship nearby our island. It had a Union Jack flag. It turned out to be the rescue crew Jenny's grandfather had sent to come find her. We signaled the ship. As it came near shore, we yelled with joy, knowing rescue had come. The captain of the ship graciously offered to take us back to Europe. Fritz and Jenny had already fallen in love and wished to be together. Our boys would attend good schools and recount their adventures on the island. As for me and my wife, we decided to remain on the island. No matter the struggles and hardships we had been through, we were perfectly happy together. For now, this island was our paradise.